Hello friends, hope you are all fine and doing very great things. Today we are gonna learn about how we can set background image in our CSS, and we will learn some core concepts about background image in CSS. Now you can easily set your background image to make your website more interactive. Now it's very super duper easy thing that you can learn it very easily. This is my document, this is my folder. Inside this folder I have an images folder, which I have images, some of with low resolution and some of with high resolution, to show you what will happen with the low resolution images. So there are a lot of ways that you can do this, but let me introduce first the basic one. So first of all, you have to open this folder with VS Code or any code editor that you are using. So this is my VS Code editor. I'm gonna make a file outside the images folder. So index.html, and also a file of CSS also. So I will make a file of style.css. After creating those two files, just click on the index.html file and make the use of Ahmad extension and use the shortcut of exclamation mark and hit enter, and you will see a boilerplate for HTML page. Now here I'm gonna use a title of background images, like so. Okay, now here I will also link my CSS file, link CSS, and here is my style.css file. So first of all, you have to target element where you want to apply the backgrounds. That is very simple. I'm gonna apply the background on my index.html web page. So this is my background images web page, yeah, and this is my code editor. So first of all, I'm gonna target the body selector, so it will cover the whole thing. It will be set to the whole web page. So first of all, the first thing you have to use is background, or you can also use background image. So I'm using background. Now the next thing is you can use URL. Okay, so URL will give you the opportunity to target or to locate your image that you want to set on your background. So I want to set a background image from the images folder with the bg.jpeg. Okay, now once you just wrote it here or give the location here, yes, you have to come to your web page and press F5. Now as you can see, it is repeating itself. So you can now set its background repeat property to no repeat, or repeat X, or repeat Y. Now what is repeat X or repeat Y? Let me show you with some practical view. So when I write background repeat, so there are other values that you can give, like background X, that will repeat the background image in horizontal order, and if you use repeat Y, it will repeat itself in vertical order. So let me introduce you. When I just use repeat X, now as you can see, it is repeating itself in horizontal order. Now once you change it to repeat Y, you can easily check it is repeating itself in vertical order. So if you use the no repeat value here, so you can see it is not anymore repeating itself. So Another thing that you can do is you can make it cover that will cover the whole container, or that will cover the whole element or tag. So how you can do this? This is very simple, by just putting background size to cover. So it will cover the whole body tag, the whole element. So body is full screen, so it will cover the full screen. Now the next thing is you can also use gradients on your background, but I will make a complete nice video on gradients, so don't worry if you don't know about gradients in CSS, how you can do this. But right now just think that you can set a slight overlay on your background image. So from where you can get background, from where you can get gradient, just you write use the linear gradient here. So I will use a linear gradient with a comma here. Okay, so it will give a gradient here. So to give a gradient, it's very simple. So friends, you can set a gradient here by just typing a linear gradient here, linear gradient, and with a comma. So it is actually giving 2 parameters. You can say we are giving 2 parameters here. First of all, we are giving linear gradient and then URL of our image. So to give a linear gradient, you have to type two colors that will combine itself. So red and yellow, red and yellow. I want these 2 colors. But when I come here and let me minimize it, yes, when I come here and refresh it, as you can see, it is giving a slight gradient over there, but it have no any height. So how can I set this? Why you are again coming? So just give a height here of 100 VH, so it will cover the whole screen. So once I refresh it, you can see a whole screen with a gradient of red and yellow. Now very easy thing you can use is you can change the background, the opacity of these colors to very less, like RGBA 0.3, 0.4. okay, and once you refresh this page, you can see a very slight change in your website. You can see this is the overlay of your website, and I think so it should be 98 VH or 90 VH. No, it's not 90 VH, it's actually 97 VH, 97.5 VH. yes, it is the correct thing. Tell you that height would be 97.5 VH. So this is the way you can cover your background. Okay, and other option is, okay, so this is very basic thing. Now the next thing that you have to learn is a little bit advanced, that how we can make a responsive full background images having a large photo that covers the entire background of a web page. So it is currently quite popular. Core concepts for creating responsive background images with CSS are use the background size. So here we use the background size, and this property should be set to cover. So it will take the entire viewport, that as I told you before. So the CSS background size property can have the value of cover. The cover value tells the browser to automatically proportionally scale the background images width and height so that they are always equal to or greater than the viewport's width or height. So first of all, you have to target your body section, then you have to give the background image, or you can use background only. That will give its that have URL, so it will check the location of the image that you want to set as a background. Now the next thing is you can also use a background position here. Background position with center, and again center, so it will center from horizontal and vertically. Okay, or you can say it will center itself vertically and horizontally. I don't know what is the order, so it is in now the image is in center. And the next thing is you will set to background repeat to no repeat, as we set it here. And now another thing is background attachment, sorry, background, not background clip, background attachment to fixed. So now it is fixed, but what it will do the fixed thing is you have to go to your index.html page. Inside this I will use a paragraph with a little heading h1 of hello, okay, and with a lorem text lorem of 500 words, okay, pretty heavy container, with a div here of a class container TAINER. Yeah, I'm suffering with my spellings, so don't worry about this thing, and then just put it here, so it is in the div. Once you refresh it, you can see it here, but it is not quite looking good, so let me style it first. So dot container, and inside dot container I will set its width to 300 pixel is enough, and set its margin to 0 auto, so it will center itself like this. And justify content, no, it's text align to justify, text align to justify. Let's see this, and once you scroll it, you can see a great change that the background is still fixed, it is not moving with when we are scrolling. So this kind of effect can be achieved with background attachment fixed. Let me show you with some background color so you can see it clearly. Corn silk, refresh it, giving some padding here of 10-30 pixel, refresh. Yeah, now you can see once I scrolling it down, you can see the background is still there. So this effect can be done with background fixed, attachment fixed. So once I comment it out and refresh my page, you can see the background is moving, and this is looking something worst in the world. So how can you fix this? Just by fixing the background attachment to fix. Once you refresh it, now the background will set to fixed, and the paragraph or the div will move itself. So this is looking amazing. So now you learned so far about background fixed. So in the background image is fixed in the viewport, so that it does not move when the content's height is greater than the image's height. The next thing is you can also set a background color here. Okay, any color you want. Once you refresh it, okay, so nothing is changed, but you use it we set it when the background color that will be displayed while the background image is loading. So just think that if your image is loading, if your website is very have a great load time, or your website is very heavy, so it might take that your image is heavy, it's 3 or 4 MB image, so it will make some problem that the background load itself with very difficulty. So for this we use a background color. So once the image is not displayed, or the image is loading, so background color is load itself first. So once I can show you this thing when I just removing the background image by just typing incorrect name of my background image. So you can see that this background will be set, okay, and once the image is loaded, that background will remove itself and this background will be shown. So this is very cool thing that you can do. Okay, so I hope you are enjoying this tutorial, and maybe one more thing that I want to tell you, that is you can also set multiple background images on a single element. So how can you do this? So it's very simple. Let me comment it out first, and let me also comment this container. Okay friends, so I'm gonna comment this out. Something looks like this, and once I refresh it, everything is blank. So now I can set 2 background images. First of all, I have to select my selector like body. I'm selecting the element with selector attribute with selector keyword, and this is body. So I selected a body. I want to set a background here. I want to set the background of URL, selecting with images. You can also use it in this order with quotation marks. Okay, I want to set a background image tree.gif, and what next? Nothing is next. Once I refresh it, you can see a lot of trees because it's repeating itself again. And if you want to set another background here, you can also use the URL. Okay, and again this type of quotations with a comma, parenthesis, and then keep the quotations here. You can use single quotation or double quotations. Then again images, paper.gif. Once you refresh it, it is overridden itself. So I don't want this thing. I want this pattern go after it. So I'm just gonna delete it from here, and here I will set it to URL, and once I refresh it, I'm gonna set a image here. So images, paper.gif. Once I refresh it, you can see the background image comes before this image. So this is very looking amazing. Now I will wanna show you that this paper.gif is also repeating itself, but it is not showing itself that it is repeating itself, because as you can see that this is a pattern. So this paper.gif is a pattern. Once you can check it by using background repeat property to set it to no repeat. Now you can see actually this is one image and it is repeating itself to the whole page, and this is one image. So this way you can also use the background. You can also set multiple backgrounds. And one more thing is you have to know the order. So if you want to make this comes first and this one comes last, so you have to give the tree image first and then the the other image that you want to come in the last, or that you want to come as a background of the first image, first background. So you have to write in this order. So first of all, I give the tree and then the paper.gif. Once I cut it off, refresh it, you can see this thing. Okay friends, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and you learned so much from this tutorial. Thanks for watching and good luck for the next tutorial.